Welcome to our journey through the legend of Robin Hood. Join us as we delve into the life of the legendary outlaw, whose tales of archery, bravery, and defiance have stood the test of time. From the ancient ballads to Hollywood blockbusters, we'll uncover the layers of mystery, historical ambiguity, and cultural significance that make Robin Hood a timeless hero. Get ready to explore the fascinating evolution of one of England's most enduring legends. Robin Hood, the legendary outlaw known for his archery skills and altruism, is a prominent figure in English folklore. Despite his fame, the truth behind Robin Hood is layered in mystery and historical ambiguity. The legend first appears in written form during the late 14th and early 15th centuries, with casual mentions in works like William Langland's Piers Plowman. The first extensive ballads about Robin Hood emerged in the second half of the 15th century, portraying him as a champion of the common folk, an adept archer, and an opponent of the medieval church and its clerical representatives. Historical speculation about the real Robin Hood spans centuries of potential candidates. Records from various periods mention individuals with the name Robin Hood, suggesting it could have been an alias used by bandits to obscure their identities. Among the numerous figures speculated to be the inspiration for Robin Hood, Robert Hodd of York is often highlighted due to his tombstone in Yorkshire, England, which bears an epitaph aligning with the legendary outlaw's story. Sherwood Forest, the backdrop of Robin Hood's legend, is a real forest that still exists today. In medieval England, forest laws meant to preserve hunting grounds for the nobility were often resented by the peasantry. Men akin to the Robin Hood character might have emerged as local champions, rebelling against these laws and earning admiration among the poorer classes. Early ballads typify Robin Hood as a yeoman challenging figures like the Sheriff of Nottingham, a real historical position responsible for maintaining law and order. Later adaptations anachronistically portray Robin Hood as a contemporary of King Richard the Lionheart and an enemy of Prince John, a connection that gained traction in the 16th century. Interestingly, characters like Maid Marian and Friar Tuck were later additions to the legend, with the earliest references to Marian stemming from May Day festivities rather than the original ballads. Friar Tuck's initial association with the legend doesn't appear until the late 15th century. Robin Hood became a dominant figure in May Day celebrations by the early 15th century, with revelers often donning his guise. This association romanticized Robin further, transforming an outlaw into a symbol of seasonal renewal and festivities. While the historical evidence surrounding Robin Hood is sparse and ambiguous, the legend itself is rich with layers of cultural, social, and literary importance. Robin Hood, as presented in the earliest stories, seems less a factual historical figure and more an amalgamation of folklore, projected onto various historical contexts and settings to suit the sentiments of each era. If you enjoy content like this, please do not forget to like and subscribe. This will make sure all our new videos are available for you to watch. Now, on with the story of Robin Hood. The legend of Robin Hood has evolved significantly over the centuries, with key changes and additions that have added depth and complexity to his story. In the earliest surviving ballads from the 15th century, Robin Hood is depicted as a yeoman, a commoner with some social standing, but distinctly not of noble birth. These early tales emphasized his skills as an archer and his defiance against corrupt authorities, particularly the Sheriff of Nottingham. As these stories were retold, new characters and elements were introduced. The late 15th century saw the addition of Friar Tuck, a jovial yet somewhat roguish cleric who complemented Robin's band with his humor and strength. Maid Marian, another significant addition, likely stemmed from the May Day festivities where Robin and Marian were popular figures. Initially absent from the earliest ballads, Maid Marian emerged by the late 16th century, providing a romantic counterpart to Robin and humanizing him by giving him a love interest. The 16th century also marked a significant shift with the works of Anthony Munday. Munday's plays recast Robin Hood as the Earl of Huntingdon, elevating him from a yeoman to a nobleman. This transformation aligned with the changing tastes of the audience and cemented Robin Hood's association with King Richard the Lionheart and his confrontations with Prince John. The May Day plays and the works of writers such as John Leland further romanticized Robin Hood, placing him in elaborate stories where he defied unjust laws and embodied chivalric values. This portrayal marked a departure from the more violent and straightforward early ballads, focusing instead on his leadership, nobility, and love for Maid Marian. By the 19th century, authors such as Sir Walter Scott and Howard Pyle began to mould Robin Hood into a symbol of resistance against tyranny, embodying the ideals of justice and bravery. Scott's Ivanhoe reintroduced Robin Hood in the context of the late 12th century, interacting with historical figures like King Richard, while Pyle's The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood emphasized themes of heroism, justice, and philanthropy for young readers. The evolution of the Robin Hood legend reflects broader shifts in societal values and literary tastes, allowing the legend to endure and adapt to the needs and imaginations of each new generation. The enduring appeal of Robin Hood has been most vividly captured through various adaptations in literature, film, and television. These retellings have preserved the core elements of the legend and adapted and reshaped them to suit contemporary tastes and stories. In literature, Sir Walter Scott's Ivanhoe integrated Robin Hood into a historical story that contextualized his actions within the broader political struggles of the 12th century, aligning the legend with the romantic ideals of chivalry and nationalism. Howard Pyle's The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood brought the legendary outlaw to life for a younger audience, emphasizing Robin's merry disposition, sense of justice, and leadership qualities. The 20th century witnessed a surge in visual adaptations, each bringing a new flavor to the Robin Hood legend. The iconic 1938 film, The Adventures of Robin Hood, starring Errol Flynn, captured the swashbuckling spirit of Robin Hood with a charismatic and heroic portrayal. Disney's 1973 animated film Robin Hood took a whimsical approach by casting anthropomorphic animals in the roles of the classic characters, introducing Robin Hood to a new generation with humor and simplified storytelling. Mel Brooks' Robin Hood, Men in Tights, 1993, offered a satirical take on the legend, parodying earlier adaptations and contemporary cultural phenomena. Ridley Scott's Robin Hood, 2010, sought to provide a grittier, more realistic interpretation of the story. The 2018 adaptation starring Taron Egerton presented a modernized version of Robin Hood, blending historical elements with contemporary flair and reflecting modern themes of social justice and political rebellion. Television adaptations have also played a significant role in shaping the public's perception of Robin Hood. The British TV series Robin of Sherwood, 1984-1986, brought a mystical and darker tone to the legend, exploring the spiritual and supernatural aspects of Robin's story. The various adaptations of the Robin Hood legend in literature, film, and television have preserved and altered the original story to fit contemporary tastes and purposes, ensuring Robin Hood's place as an enduring cultural icon capable of evolving with the times while maintaining the fundamental ideals of justice, bravery, and resistance against tyranny. The enduring appeal of Robin Hood lies not just in his defiance against tyranny, but also in his adaptability to different eras' sentiments. Whether seen as a yeoman or a nobleman, Robin Hood's story remains a powerful symbol of justice and resistance that resonates across generations. The legend of Robin Hood has transcended time, evolving with each generation to reflect the values and ideals of society. From the earliest ballads to modern adaptations, Robin Hood remains a symbol of justice, bravery, and resistance against tyranny. Whether he was a real historical figure or a creation of folklore, the story of Robin Hood continues to inspire and captivate audiences around the world. His enduring legacy as the champion of the common folk and the enemy of oppression reminds us of the timeless struggle for fairness and equality. As we delve into the rich tapestry of Robin Hood's legend, we celebrate the enduring power of storytelling and the human spirit's unyielding quest for justice. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the legend of Robin Hood. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into history's most captivating tales.